Coming up on MystiCast.
There's a big misconception. There's a whole lot more to the career field of criminal justice than squad cars and donut shops.
And we asked few students who their primary presidential pick is.
And welcome to this week's episode of MystiCast. I'm Cole Romine.
And I'm Jacob Meitinger. Let's take a look at our first story.
With the recent negative media attention that has been focused on our police officers, one has to wonder how our own police force is faring.
Despite controversy in other states, here in Bismarck, the community stands together with those who carry the badge. No one else knows that better than Deputy Chief David Dreyovich.
We're constantly getting calls and thanks and on our social media pages and things like that. So that's very nice. And we've worked very hard to have that kind of relationship by just being open and honest and forthcoming with our citizens.
Dreyovich also mentioned that despite some turnovers, the police force is still growing.
We're actually going through interviews to hire, not because we're down people because they've quit so much, as the city has given us extra officers to add to our authorized strength.
The Bismarck State College professor and coordinator of the criminal justice program, Joe Ellefson, had similar feelings.
I think there is a surge from the community, and I'm very glad to see it, that support the badge. And I know the men and women of the career field really appreciate it.
Ellefson also gave some advice. Approach every situation from an objective point of view, because you may only know one half of the story.
It says it on the side of most squad cars, to serve and protect. They're not trying to screw anybody over. They're just trying to do a job as professionally as they possibly can.
A job that all of us should be glad that they do. Reporting for BSC MystiCast, I'm Adam Pfeiffer.
We at MystiCast would also like to thank the officers of our community. You are greatly appreciated.
Do you strive to be healthy? On October 18th, there was a health fair on Bismarck State College's campus in the National Energy Center of Excellence building. There were booths from many different health organizations, such as United Blood Services and the Bismarck Cancer Center. Each organization had information about themselves and what they do. Some even had sign-ups for blood drives and health screenings. Guests were also given bingo cards to encourage them to visit as many of the booths as they could. These cards had the name of booths that they could visit to get a bingo. Once they had a bingo, they got some free items and a bag to put them in. Nursing students were also there with presentations showing what they have learned, with booths on binge drinking, women's health, and more.
You made it on TV, Timmy.
Coming up next on MystiCast, we look into the presidential debacle to see who the BSC students chose.
And a choral concert that creates connections.
Run.
In an election as uncertain as this one, most people have either decided on a candidate or made a decision not to vote at all. Many students did not want to state their opinion on camera. So who are you voting for and why?
I'm undecided at the moment. Both of the two major candidates don't seem very trustworthy.
I'm voting for neither because I truthfully don't think either of them are good. So I just learned about how the Green Party their top guy ended up in jail. So that's who I was going to vote for. But now I think, out of respect for myself and other people, I don't think I'm going to vote at all.
Well, that's very interesting.
This election's been a very hard election. This is the first presidential election I'll be voting for. But I don't think we have really good choices, honestly. I mean, after watching the second debate and the first debate, I feel like the most appropriate person right now would be Gary Johnson.
Still undecided because I think both candidates have a lot of negative qualities. Like Trump, I really don't think he's qualified to be president, and he says a lot of stuff that a president shouldn't really say. A lot of questionable things. But Hillary Clinton also, she's really qualified to be president. She has that going for her, but she has a lot of experience. But there's also a lot of questions about corruption, like the things with her emails and things like Benghazi. And it's a really tough decision.
With an election this unpredictable, it's not hard to see why so many students are opting out of voting.
There are many things that can bring a community together. For BSC and the Bismarck school districts, that has been choir. We spoke to BSC's choral director about Bismarck Sings and future plans to bring it to a statewide collegiate level.
I messed up tonight. I lost another fight. I still mess up tonight.
Bismarck Sings, I started it last year. I heard there was another community event similar to it many years ago, but they stopped doing it. So I kind of just wanted to revitalize this event that brings all of our area's greatest choirs together under one roof to celebrate what we all love so much, which is singing. I looked through the program, and the pieces that the area choirs are bringing to this event are some of my favorites in choral music. We are doing a couple pieces that I wrote. I'd love to throw all these groups in together, have them hear each other, but under a competitive light, because that generates a lot of initiative. You know, you really find out what you're truly made of when you know you got a competition coming down the road.
After the momentum it's gained, Bismarck Sings may soon turn into an event the whole state can bond over.
That is all we have for you today. Remember to keep an eye out for the next episode.
And check out all the previous episodes at bscmysticmedia.com/MystiCast. Thanks for watching, and safe trick-or-treating.